We are the Pennsylvania Manufacturers Association.
We are the Pennsylvania Manufacturers Association.
Business in Pennsylvania.
And business in Pennsylvania is our business.
Bob is from Jim Thorpe, and Bob writes in regarding the May 23rd press release, and that press release was titled, Governor Corbett issues executive order protecting state forest parks from gas leasing that involves surface disturbance. Why wouldn't the PA game lands be included in this executive order?
Well, the real simple answer is the PA game lands are not under the jurisdiction of the governor's office. They're under the Game Commission, and that's why they're not in that. As you know, the Game Commission decides whether they're going to lease their land and oversee it for oil and gas development. And they have been aggressive in leasing land over the past several years, using that revenue to reinvest it back into their system, much like I would like to see us be able to do with the lands underneath the soil at the state parks for money to go back into the state parks.
Right. And that's a big issue. A lot of people talking about and really kind of confused over what is drilling and what isn't in the state parks, right?
They are confused because, we're not going to add substantial disturbance. There's no additional rigs going to go onto these additional lands and drill on the surface into the ground within the confines of the park. But keep in mind, if you draw a square and draw another square next to it, if one square is the state lands, the next square right next to it is private ownership. If that private ownership allows drilling there, we're going to have the drilling next to the park. Mm-hmm. What we're saying is, okay, if they drill there, we're going to let them drill underneath at 6,000 feet below.
Like a slant drill, right?
A slant drill underneath the state lands and get the gas out of there, because that's one way of extracting it without impacting the surface. Once that drill leaves there, that gas is going to be stranded there. We're going to lose value. Mm-hmm. So it's a way of getting additional income without having any substantial surface damage.
We're going to Erie.
Damage isn't the right word. Impact.
Impact. There you go. Erie next up. Frank writes in, why after 2 years are the traffic cameras not working on I-90 in Erie County? Erie's the fourth largest city in PA, and we have no working traffic cameras. We have the snowiest winter weather in the state. Please get this up and running before winter of 2014. PennDOT said they tried to save money going to a wireless system not used elsewhere in the state. How's that savings going? Again, these are not enforcement cameras we're talking about. These are
just the traffic. From what I understand, it's just the
patterns.
traffic cameras. Yes. And obviously we've had some issues with the wireless technology. And, Frank, I want to thank you for bringing this to my attention because I wasn't aware of this. So, later today, my Secretary of Transportation is going to be getting a call, and I'm going to say, what's the deadline to get this done? And hopefully we'll remember it when I come back on next month. And if I get an answer before that, we'll give it to you, and you can put it out there.
I'm setting it aside for a follow-up next month.
Because,
we'll put that right there.
Sometimes people think we know everything that's going on out there.
Yeah,
it's a very big state. So, Frank, I appreciate it. I get up to Erie quite a bit, and I saw the cameras up there. I just never was aware whether they were working or not working.
And that is how this show works.
This is the great part about this.
You write in and you can get a response.
Yeah.
Kathleen, we're back to York for this question. What have you done since being elected on police corruption in PA, and or what would you do if reelected?
Well, first off, that assumes that there's a great deal of police corruption in Pennsylvania. And, Kathleen, I want to tell you, I've been working with law enforcement all across the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania. Are there instances of that? Yes. Is it widespread? No. Is it even somewhat spread? In my opinion, no. I have been dealing with these ladies and gentlemen for quite a long time, and there are good, hardworking people out there that put their life on the line every day they go out there. And you see so many times when people do not come home, and you see the funerals. And for just to make a statement like that, I think if I were a law enforcement officer, I'd be pretty offended by that. That one kind of bothers me. I don't
know that she said that it's rampant, though. I mean,
no,
it was just an issue she was asking about.
I know, but
in fairness,
I bristled.
I understand
at that on behalf of law enforcement.
And my dad was a cop, so I know where you're coming from.
So you understand it.
Sure.
We work very closely. Our state police works very closely. We have our units that will work if corruption is reported. We continue to do that. We work closely with the federal government who gets involved in this. We've worked closely in the past with the Attorney General's office on things like this. And it really falls to the local level, the district attorneys, to work on this. Now, oftentimes the district attorney may have a conflict of interest because they've worked with the police department or the police officer in particular, and they will refer the case to the Attorney General's office. So, as the Attorney General, we were very involved in corruption cases, as you well know. They weren't necessarily police corruption. We did some police corruption cases, but we did some other types of corruption cases. As governor, it falls more to our state police, and will continue to fall to that, and also to the Attorney General, the district attorneys, and the U.S. attorneys in the state.